Hey everyone, I'm Mr. Willis, and welcome back to You Will Love AP Gov. Thanks for joining me for another video on one of the required Supreme Court cases for AP US government. Today's video covers Schenck versus the United States, a case that set a precedent for the limits of free speech under the First Amendment, especially during times of war. If you're taking notes for your AP class or prepping for the AP exam, remember to click on the link below and download the free guided notebook page to make it easier to follow along. Let's break it down. In 1917, Congress passed the Espionage Act, which made it illegal to interfere with military recruitment or support enemy nations during World War I. Charles Schenck, a general secretary of the Socialist Party, was convicted under this law for distributing pamphlets urging men to resist the military draft. He argued that the draft was unconstitutional and encouraged draftees to assert their rights. The government charged him with attempting to obstruct military recruitment and security efforts. Schenck appealed his conviction, claiming that his actions were protected by the First Amendment's guarantee of free speech. The issue before the Supreme Court was, did Schenck's conviction under the Espionage Act violate his First Amendment right to free speech? In a unanimous decision, the court upheld Schenck's conviction, establishing a crucial legal test for free speech restrictions, known as the clear and present danger test. Writing for the majority, Justice Oliver Wendell Holmes stated, "The question in every case is whether the words used are used in such circumstances and are of such nature as to create a clear and present danger that will bring about the substantive evils that Congress has a right to prevent." The clear and present danger test essentially means that speech can be restricted if it poses an immediate and serious threat to public safety or national interests. This was a shift from viewing the First Amendment as offering absolute protection. Holmes's famous analogy, falsely shouting fire in a crowded theater, illustrates that speech which incites panic or harm isn't protected. Under this test, courts had to evaluate the context of the speech and its potential impact. In other words, certain expressions, though normally protected, can be limited if they pose an immediate threat to national security or public order. In the decades after Schenck, the clear and present danger test was used to evaluate cases involving communism, anti-war protests, and civil disobedience. For example, in Dennis versus United States 1951, the court upheld the convictions of Communist Party leaders for advocating the violent overthrow of the government. Even though they hadn't acted on their ideas, the court determined their speech posed a potential threat under the clear and present danger test. However, the court eventually tightened the standard for restricting speech. In Brandenburg versus Ohio 1969, the justices ruled that speech is protected unless it is intended to incite imminent lawless action and is likely to produce such action. This effectively replaced the clear and present danger test with a more speech-protective standard. While all Americans enjoy broad protections under the First Amendment, this case reminds us that free speech is not absolute, especially when it presents a direct and immediate danger to the public. And that's everything you need to know about Schenck versus United States. You can click here for additional videos for AP US Government, and be sure to check out my videos on AP Macroeconomics and AP Microeconomics as well. If you found this video helpful, be sure to like, share, and subscribe for more content on AP Government and Economics. Thanks for watching. I'll see you next time on You Will Love AP Gov.